Beer on the Thanksgiving dinner table? Yes. What's up, beer tasters? Last week, I went over my favorite wines to pair with Thanksgiving, and I mentioned that Thanksgiving is one of my favorite times of the year because it's an excuse to have both beer and wine on the dinner table. So my favorite beer to pair with Thanksgiving is Saison from Belgium, or if you can find it, a Biere de Garde from France. Now these two beer styles are very, very similar. One just happens to be from Belgium and one happens to be from France. And historically, these beers were brewed in the rural farming areas of these countries. And when farms used to make beer, they would just add in a bunch of herbs and spices, whatever they had laying around to flavor their beers with. So Saison and Biere de Garde have kind of kept that tradition going. Now, not all of them have spices and herbs in them, but they all actually just carry a spicy herbal quality to them, which happens to be amazing with Thanksgiving dinner. The other reason that Saison and Biere de Garde go so well with Thanksgiving dinner is that they're both very highly carbonated and they both have a very dry finish. And when you get high carbonation accompanied by a dry finish, it's going to cleanse your palate after every sip you take. So in a meal like Thanksgiving, where you have a ton of different flavors going on and a lot of different side dishes, if you take a sip of beer, the bubbles will scrub away all of the flavors, and obviously the harmony between the spices and the herbs are gonna be great, but it's gonna make your next bite of food taste completely new. So it's just a really great beer to have with a meal that has a ton of different flavors in it. Just trust me on this one. Biere de Garde and Saison are great with Thanksgiving dinner. Now, Biere de Garde is a very difficult beer style to find. You usually have to go to like a specialty beer shop to find them because they're not exported here to America. Saison's a little bit easier to find, but honestly, we don't have a ton of Saison breweries from Belgium available to us here in the States. The good news is that American craft breweries will make this style all the time. So all you have to do is look for farmhouse ale or Saison right on the label, and there you go. It's going to be a Saison Biere de Garde style beer. The other great thing about this style of beer is that they're usually served in 750 milliliter bottles, so like a full bottle of wine. So it makes a great presentation on the Thanksgiving dinner table, and it can serve a crowd, which is amazing. It might seem a little pricey buying a really big bottle of beer, but remember, compare it to a bottle of wine, it's still gonna be a lot cheaper, so have fun with it. If you can't find any Saison or Biere de Garde styles, I say try other Belgian style ales. Belgian Golden Strongs or Belgian Triples are really great for Thanksgiving as well. They're kind of similar to Saisons, a little bit different, but will still pair very nicely. And have fun with this. Beer is cheaper than wine, so don't be afraid to bring out a couple of different beers and try them with Thanksgiving and see which ones work well with different dishes. The only thing I recommend not doing is having like a really hoppy, bitter beer, because Thanksgiving overall is a very mellow meal and a lot of hops will overwhelm dishes. So don't go for any like crazy IPAs or anything like that. If you want any suggestions on beers to buy in these categories, I have a whole blog post that accompanies this video with all of my favorite beers in these categories. So I have the link for that in the description box below, so you can have fun at going shopping for these beers. And if you haven't seen the video on what wine I suggest pairing with Thanksgiving yet, make sure to go check that out, because you definitely should have wine and beer both at the Thanksgiving dinner table. You have my permission. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all, and I'll see you soon.